Welcome to the 2025 Marywood Field Hockey Team Preview presented by the Woodward. I'm Vincent Goldschmidt, alongside me, head coach Julie Trott. Coach, welcome on.
Hi, thank you.
So you're coming off of, honestly, one of the best field hockey seasons Marywood has had statistically and record-wise, led the conference in almost every stat, went undefeated in conference play. But there's been a lot of roster turnover. A lot of girls graduated. So how do you kind of turn the page from last year with all that success you had and work with the roster, with the players who have come back and the new roster and the new players you've brought in?
So we always say that every single season is its own season. We're not thinking about last season. We're not thinking about next season. We're thinking about this season. Rosters change, but culture stays the same. So that is kind of the driving force this year is that, okay, we may be quote unquote young, but I view that as an opportunity. People don't know what to expect. We are returning some really strong players, even though we did graduate some, to be honest, future Hall of Famers. We have Lainey Straub coming back. She was a first-team all-conference forward. Darian Jones, first-team all-conference forward, second-team all-region. Strong defenders in Liv Rosengrant, returning our starting goalie, Sabrina Frazier. We have great leadership in the midfield with Jordan Saby. So, I'm throwing out a lot of names here. So it does sound like we are returning a very good core group. And yes, we have some strong freshmen and strong transfers. And then our, sophomore group is really looking to make an impact this year.
I like that you bring up that the sophomores are looking to make an impact because if you look at a lot of people who graduated, they were some of the key players, especially on the attacking end.
Yes.
So how much faith are you going to have from the beginning of the season to put a little more responsibility on the sophomores and the incoming freshmen as well?
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, we say to the sophomores, all right, you are no longer freshmen. We say that to them in January so that when they're going into the spring season, they are really working on skills that are going to elevate their game. But I'm just really excited for them. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to make an impact, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, grad student. But really looking forward to our sophomores really stepping into playmaking roles this year when they were kind of in more of support roles last year.
So I mentioned earlier how much success you guys had offensively. Mm-hmm. You ranked top 20 in the nation in goal margin. You ranked top 10 in the nation in penalty corners. Yeah. Even with the roster turnover, that's definitely going to be something you focus on. But what is the key at practice and throughout the season that you kind of remind your team to be aggressive offensively?
Yeah, we like to say that we play a fast-paced game no matter your position. We always say, if our team doesn't have the ball, we're all on defense. If our team has the ball, we are all on offense. So we're expecting our, halfbacks to really be bringing the ball up. They're offensive also. Really, there's only two people on the field that probably won't be shooting the ball a ton, and those are, our fullbacks. But we just tell them to go out there and be crazy people in the offensive circle. If you don't have a shot, you don't have a pass, you need to be drawing an offensive corner, and then we need to execute on the corners. And I have all the faith in the world in them. I think that they are extremely determined to go out there and prove the type of team that they are. And I think at the end of the day, we have to score more than the other team. That could be by 1. It would be great if it was by 6, but it could only be by 1, but you have to score more. So.
You guys had a ton of success doing that last year, bringing in an Atlantic East Conference title and making it to the national tournament.
Yeah.
The final year in the AAC, the MAC on the horizon for next year. So what are some of the goals you have for this final season in the AAC and then also, looking long-term to the MAC? Yeah,
we obviously want to win the Atlantic East championship, but being very present. So it's a day at a time. We can't be thinking about November 9th. We can't be in that game on September 1st. We need to chip away and make sure that we are improving every single day and, winning those games that, we really are up against it, and adapting. But at the end of the day, yes, the ultimate goal is we need to win the Atlantic East Conference Championship, especially with it being our last. I am very excited to move to the MAC. The Atlantic East has been wonderful. We are very grateful for our time in the Atlantic East. We've had great competition, But I think for the future of Marywood athletics as a whole, not only for field hockey, but for all of the athletic teams and the student athletes, this move just aligns with our vision, our mission, competitively, balancing academics and travel and all of those things. And to speak a little selfishly about field hockey, in 2026, the Atlantic East will be losing our automatic bid to the NCAA tournament because of sports sponsorship. There won't be enough field hockey teams. So whoever wins the Atlantic East won't automatically go to the NCAA tournament. So moving into the MAC, they have an automatic bid. So whoever wins that automatically goes to the tournament. And that is something that I think is extremely important for any program. So I'm happy that we won't be skipping a beat there.
Well, it looks like there's happy days in the future for the Marywood field hockey team. Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks.
That's going to do it for the 2025 Marywood Field Hockey Preview. To check out everything the Woodward has to offer, go to thewoodward.org and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. For the Woodward, I'm Vincent Goldschmidt.